Hi Cancer, welcome to your Angel Tarot card reading for the month of August 2019. Hope you all are doing well. Just a reminder, these are general readings. Please take what resonates and discard the rest. If you would like a personalized reading, go to my website angelawakening.net or follow the links in the description box. I also have discounts for you to check out. So I've been talking to the astrological signs about feeling like there's somewhat of a thread running through June, July, and August. And it's unique to each sign, and it's somewhat fluid. In some cases, there's a recurring theme. In some cases, we're going back to some things in June. In some cases, we never left June. And in other cases, it's a completely new theme, but it's piggybacking or, on the heels of some topics that we've already discussed. So before we get to the cards, I was just tuning into your energy and picking up, this July theme of being honest with yourself, being honest with other people about what you need and what your true inner calling is, what your desires are in your day-to-day life, and how people might need to shift their perceptions of you or their viewpoints in order for you to thrive and to be who you really want to be. So we'll see what the cards say, but I was just getting that initially that maybe that wasn't as difficult for you once you, if you were in this subset that decided, yeah, you know what, I'm going to take a stand. I'm going to stand up for myself in this area. I'm going to go on ahead and commit to XYZ. I'm going to walk away from XYZ, something that maybe you were concerned about how other people would interpret, and it either turned out fine or it didn't become the big issue that you were expecting, or someone fully supported you and you were pretty surprised. But I'm getting for some of you that it's kind of a relief. So however you were able to be honest with yourself, be honest with other people, I feel like that has turned out well for you, started you on a new path, begun a new course of action for you, a new phase of life, given you some energy, provided you with more opportunities. And for those of you that, you either didn't find the opportunity or didn't think it was the right opportunity, there's still that time in August. There was just something about July that made it, just really, prime and just a, ripe opportunity for you to be honest, where everything was aligning. But that, it's always good for us to be honest in every moment when we, as much as we possibly can. But I feel like in August you're going to be kind of moving into other themes. So if you weren't able to have these one-on-ones, or you weren't able to, or didn't feel like it was the right time, you might be somewhat disconnected from that as a topic in August. Maybe you're like, look, I'm just going to dive deeper into what's in front of me right now, and that's what I'm going to focus on. Or I'm just going to table this conversation. I just don't think, August is the right time. And each of you individually is going to have a different association and experience with that. So, and obviously there is no right or wrong answer. This is just, guidance based on messages I'm getting, and how you choose to interpret and what works for you personally is obviously always your best bet. So let's see what the angels want us to focus on for August and what messages they would like to give. 3 of Fire, abundance. Things look very good. Have patience at this time. Make long-term plans. So yeah, for those of you who've had an opportunity to really get clear with yourself about what you need and want, have had some of those conversations, are willing to have some of those conversations, there's a lot of passion. There's a lot of excitement around this. There's motivation. You've got I feel like you've got opportunity, you've got support, and, when you combine ideas with support from relationships and other people, abundance usually follows. And being blessed with success is a easy next step. So although it's a time to celebrate, and although it's a time to rejoice to a degree in how far you've come, just keep going. Certainly take a step back and review all that you've done, and take another look at the foundation that you've built and the blueprint for your future, and what you've built out to this point, and just take a look and see if you've thought of what you need for the long term. And as it says, celebrate how far you've come. Be in a state of gratitude about how much this has lit a fire under you, how enthusiastic you are, how motivated you are, and the possibilities for all that you can still achieve. So patience is, usually necessary, and it's a card that gives us that as a suggestion as well, because you might have to wait a little bit on some results from some previous actions and decisions, but you can use the time to explore possibilities for how to continue to promote your business, how to continue to promote your talents, what clients are you would like to work with, what people you would like to have in your immediate environment. And, as 3 is a number of creativity and getting joy out of what we're contributing and what we're valuing, finding the playfulness, as a child would, and finding that inner child, the spirit of your inner child, to help to contribute to some of this passion and energy that you've got. So, being honest with yourself, and then translating that into your work or career or self-employment or relationships, that is very powerful. So you're definitely on the right path. 2 of Air, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, pretending there is no problem. So, okay, so we keep going back to this, and this is where I feel like we're going back to this from July. Pretending that you don't need to have the conversation. Pretending that you don't need to change your course of action. Pretending like you're okay just to keep doing what you're doing and just work harder. That's, I think, a big part of where August is giving us this lesson. 2 is also the number of your value, your self-worth. your self-esteem. And when you're not honest with yourself and you're not honest with other people about who you are and what you want and what you need, it crushes our self-esteem, because it's very difficult to be genuine with other people in day-to-day life and feel good about yourself if you feel like you're living a lie. And for some of you, I feel like this is a real issue. This is a real factor in how you're able to express yourself. And, you know, this can also translate to nervousness, you know, and just general fear. If you're not making a decision and or you have conflicting emotions and thoughts about what to do, so you just avoid making a choice, you still made a choice. What's the song that does that, that says that? When you decide not to decide, you still have made a choice. I can't remember who did that song. I'm drawing a blank. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. Rush. For those of you who are old enough to remember that. So you're still, and this is why I feel like if you haven't been able to be true to yourself, and be true in the face of other people and other people's expectations, you are kind of coming to this point of, I'm just going to work harder at what I know but don't love, versus I might have to shake up my world and my partner's world, my significant other's world, my investor's world, my kids' world, my whatever, in order to really be authentically me. And I feel like for some of you, that's really the crux of August. You can maybe for another month, you know, well, you can as long as you want. You can go down whatever road you want for as long as you want. But wouldn't it be great to feel uniquely you and celebrated for you? And, you know, at this point, you could just be in a situation where now you're just overanalyzing, you're doubting yourself. Now there's a stalemate because somebody, your partner knows that something's wrong, but you're not voicing it. You know, there's going to need to be a compromise. I'm sure you're going to need to compromise to some degree in order to make this thing happen, whatever this is. And the other person or parties are going to have to compromise as well. And that's okay. There's nothing to get up in your head about with that. That's going to happen with whatever decision that you end up making. But you just have to have faith in your own wisdom and keep moving forward. The challenge here is pretending that there's no problem and letting that further erode your trust in yourself. 5 of Summer. Trust that there is a reason for everything that happens. Remove yourself from the negative emotions of others, focusing on that which frightens or worries you. Wow. So yeah, I feel like this is still about you guys going back and forth on something and letting other people, and your concern about how other people are going to respond and react to whatever it is you want to do, and you're just letting that completely freeze your ability to move forward. So whenever I see the 5, I always think of change that's inevitable. Change that is inevitable, and you are attempting to stop the world from changing and try to keep things the way that they are, and they're going to change anyway. And wouldn't it be best if you changed and were your true, authentic self when the dust settles, instead of changing because you're forced to, and now you're deeper into a situation that you don't feel is right for you or you're not fully invested in? There's just a real opportunity here for you to double check again on your thought patterns, making sure that your thoughts are staying optimistic, staying positive. And, you know, we all have loss that we deal with. Could be the loss of a person, a loved one, either in the physical world or just in our, you know, day-to-day presence, that, you know, maybe they're no longer in our immediate environment, and that can be painful. But, you know, and so certainly if you're one of those who are going through that, take some time for yourself to grieve and to heal. But what you don't want to do is stay in kind of a negative, almost melodramatic bubble that keeps you from appreciating, again, how far you've come, celebrating your successes, you know, believing that brighter days are not around the corner for you, because they are. And for, you know, for some of you too, forgiving yourself for some past mistakes or some things that you would do different. There are always things that, you know, we would all change if we could, not necessarily regret, but certainly, you know, maybe want to do differently. And that doesn't make us terrible people. You can always get something positive out of a challenging situation. And I feel like there's a lot of opportunity for you to see the possibilities here in that. Self-employment. You're a born entrepreneur and your business is surrounded by magical opportunities. Okay. So for some of you, this honesty thing is like, yeah, I'm done with corporate. I want to build my own business. I want to expand my business. I have to go tell my significant other. I'm doing it. You know, I'm doing it. I'm committing. I'm moving forward. I've had some small successes. I've had some small impacts that I've made. And the only way I'm going to really see the fruit of my labor is to fully commit. Or just, you know, maybe you need to do a little bit more research into, you know, what this self-employment opportunity is. Maybe it's something that is on the side, you know, and you're like, look, I'm not quitting my day job, but what I do want to do is talk to my partner about cutting back on some of our recreational spending, because I want to invest in my business. I want to invest in this thing that I love, and I want to do that in my free time. This is saying you've got all that it takes to be successful on your own. You have the drive, the discipline, and the desire, and now you've got magic surrounding the opportunities that are in front of you to build something successful. If you're in the process of opening something, now's the time to, again, get very clear on your visualization, your affirmations. You know, if you pray, meditate, you know, conduct research, as I was saying, you know, work on yourself, be available because you're eating healthy, you're getting enough rest, you're exercising when you can, deep breathing. I mean, all the layers of action that contribute to taking, and I love this term, taking radical care of yourself, which is probably a new age term, but I still think to me, it just evokes all kinds of ways that we can, from head to toe, think of ourselves as just, how can I take care, and am I taking proper care of myself from head to toe in every possible way, physically and otherwise, to open myself up to opportunities and to make sure that I am willing to and able to face challenges and look abundance in the eye and say, yes, I deserve that because I've worked hard, and turning away from things that frighten me or worry me, because in a lot of cases it's just in my head. So, all of that contributes to taking advantage of opportunity, being willing and ready to be a beacon of possibility, have the right people around you. I mean, to get this card is very powerful, and shows that you have a lot going for you. And now we get wait. Don't rush into action right now. Bide your time for better results. So we're going to do a clarifying card on this. I've gotten this card. This card has so many meanings and layers in its simplicity. So, because in a lot of cases, within the context of this reading, where being unable or unwilling to make a decision, removing yourself from the negative emotions of others, have patience, and then understanding that whatever it is that you're pouring your heart and soul into has magical opportunities. I feel like in this case, the wait card is saying, until you fully believe in yourself, until you are fully honest with yourself, you're going to have a really hard time. You're going to have a lot of challenges taking advantage of the abundance that's available to you. And that would be really unfortunate, because if you're not ready, you're not ready. If you weren't ready in July, you're not ready in August, you're not ready, you're not ready. There's no point in trying to force something that, you feel like you absolutely have to do, or else. It's very difficult to be creative in that environment. Helpful person, someone wants to help you. Think of whom that might be and initiate contact. Awesome. So within the context of this wait card, there must be at least one person that you can think of who can help walk you through the challenges of why you're waiting, why you're not making a decision, why you're not being honest, or why you don't feel like you can fully invest in what you want. It could be an expert, it could be a mediator, it could be a family friend, it could be an outsider, or it could be your partner. It's unique to each of you. Whoever it is that you feel like is going to understand your challenges and what you're going through. And I think that's going to be a really important resource, an important way for you to get through to yourself if you're feeling blocked at this time. All right, I hope that was valuable. If you would like a personal reading from me, please go to my website, angelawakening.net, and I look forward to speaking with you all soon.